When the Newman Center was built here at Umass, John F. Kennedy was the only Catholic to serve in the White House, and he was still in office. Pope John XXIII was pontiff, and Vatican II had convened only once in Rome. And while there's no place like home, as Dorothy would say on The Wizard of Oz, the Newman Center here has been the next best thing, a home away from home for thousands of Catholic students over the last 5 decades. In our last story today, Steve Kiltonick returns with the story of Newman and its long history in the diocese.
I find this as a place of refuge where we can really separate ourselves from all the things that happen in everyday life. And it's really a nice place to come and pray and speak with others that share the same faith.
It's so easy at this big university to feel singled out and that you're by yourself. This Newman community, for me, has been a real big part of my college career.
Everywhere you go, it seems as if people are challenging your faith, challenging your beliefs, and here's where you can come and kind of recharge.
It really is a place that people can come and be themselves and practice their faith and not feel judged or feel like they have to act a certain way to impress other people or to fit in.
The voices just heard are students who talk about their experiences at the Newman Catholic Center. Over the last half-century, thousands of students have walked through the welcoming doors of the Newman Center on the campus of the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. Whether it's to study in the library, enjoy a meal at the cafe, participate in the many recreational activities or social events, or simply to relax and escape from the often chaotic life of a typical college student. Here, one can also live out their faith. Father Gary Daly is the Newman Center's director and chaplain.
This is not just an ordinary building on the campus, at the university, that this is a special place where students can come and feel safe, feel that this can be a home away from home for them because it's comfortable. They can find friends who are thinking the same thing they do and express their faith. And I think that's been a great asset to the students of the university, of feeling that camaraderie around their faith.
The Newman Club, the forerunner of the center, was founded in 1929. With no building to meet at, students would gather in classrooms across campus or walk to St. Bridget's for Mass. Then, as now, John Henry Cardinal Newman's motto, "Heart speaks to heart," serves as the inspiration for students. The 60,000 square foot Newman Center is one of the largest Catholic missions on its secular college campus. It was the dream of Father David Power, who felt the need for a facility at UMass where Catholic students and others could go for their spiritual as well as intellectual growth.
It was the vision of both Father Powers and Bishop Weldon in creating this center. And what an amazing vision, in a sense, because they purchased this land, which was the outskirts of the university at that time, thinking that at one time in history that this university would expand, and it certainly has.
On a damp September day in 1961, Springfield Bishop Christopher Weldon presided over the groundbreaking ceremonies as he dug the first shovels full of dirt. Over the next 18 months, students watched as ground was cleared, cement poured, and steel girders put in place. On April 1st, 1963, Father Power celebrated the first Mass under the watchful eyes of the chapel's 7 Saints of Learning. And on May 15, 1963, the Newman Center was officially dedicated, with Boston's Richard Cardinal Cushing the presider at the Pontifical Mass. In attendance that memorable spring day was an Irish priest by the name of Father Joseph Quigley. Known by his thick bottle-cap glasses, Father Quigley embodied the spirit of the Newman Center and became a legend on campus.
The Quigs, as they would refer to him, and many of the priests called him in the diocese affectionately, was a character. And the Newman Center, working at the university, was the perfect place for Father Quigley. He had a wonderful personality. He had a way of expressing himself.
Father Quigley was intimately involved with the Newman Center for nearly 40 years as its director and campus minister. The Ware High School and Fordham University graduate and veteran of World War II, had a gift for storytelling.
Oh, he annoyed me. He would make these, old jokes, and he was always like, the Irish are better than the Polish and all. And people would laugh and laugh, and I think, why is he doing that? And because he was doing it. It was the way he was.
Father Quigley became known for his spiritual and humorous three-point sermons, the best of which he recorded on a CD. Students can still recite Quigley's phrases like, "Don't do a half-baked job," "Don't creep and crawl," or "Ask God to give you a hand." He offered this advice before finals.
First, find your book. Second, find out the professor's name. That's at least worth 10 points. Get a decent night's rest, at least 6 hours. Do what you can reasonably and leave the rest to God.
That phrase became Father Quigley's signature statement and would follow him throughout his Newman years. It has a prominent place in the Quigley Room, along with other memorabilia.
Father Joe Quigley would talk about himself as an underdog, cockeyed Quigley, or he'd talk in the challenges of being a corporal, and he'd bring in these stories. And it was his way of saying, look what God did with me. That can happen with you. And he really believed it.
Father Quigley passed away in 2005 in the 50th year of his priesthood. One of Umass's most respected and successful alumni, who has become synonymous with the Newman Center over the years, is George Trigger Burke. For 4 years, Burke was a standout guard on the Umass basketball team. In 1956, he was the first player ever to lead Umass in both scoring and assists during the same season.
To have his shirt retired along with Dr. J's, the same number, as a matter of fact, hanging in the Mullen Center, just indicates what a great athlete he was, number one, but also the dedication he has to the university.
While athletics gave Burke instant recognition, it was his faith, passed on by his mother, which gave him his true inner spirit.
She just was a wonderful woman, but she gave me the greatest gift I've ever received in my life, and that was my Catholic faith, which I have to this day. I believe very deeply in the church.
After his playing days at UMass and one pro season with the Boston Celtics, Trigger Burke went on to a successful law career as the mayor of Quincy and district attorney of Norfolk County. Burke's office in Quincy is filled with memorabilia from his athletic and legal career. Despite his success, Trigger Burke never forgot his alma mater. He received the Newman Medal in 2005. Burke also founded the UMass Athletic Hall of Fame, which is named in his honor.
He's been a very significant person for us. We have the Burke Lounge as a result of that, and a stained glass window in the chapel dedicated to him, and he's very proud of being part of the Newman Center.
The Newman Center also serves UMass staff and members of the community. It provides outreach for the 27,000 students who attend the university and is open to those of all religions. Students can join the Newman Student Association, which plans social, liturgical, and spiritual needs of students, or become a peer minister and help students in their own faith development. At a faith-sharing session held in the Trigger Burke Room, students talk about many issues, including their own personal struggles and academic pressures, as well as their faith.
Every time I've come here, I've seen somebody praying, and there's a beautiful presence of God when I walk there that had made the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist very real to me.
Patrick has been coming to Newman since his freshman year.
It's so easy at this big university to feel singled out and that you're by yourself. But this Newman community, for me, has been a real big part of my college career. It's a way to meet people who have that common ground, and sometimes that's not the easiest thing.
Peter has also belonged to Newman since his freshman year.
I find this as a place of refuge where we can, really separate ourselves from all the things that happen in everyday life. And it's really a nice place to come and pray and speak with others that share the same faith.
Michelle says her role at Newman has evolved from a Newman student associate to peer minister, and now as an evangelizer showing other students what Newman has to offer.
It's a place where you can come and exercise exactly 100% of who you are. And that's what brought me here and what I think the Newman Center really offers here at UMass that you can't find anywhere else on campus.
Father Daly would like to continue and expand the programs to ensure that the Newman Center is true to its mission and original ideas as a place of worship education, community, and action.
I'm glad the Newman Center has been for you, seniors, a place, a refuge, a home away from home. I just hope that you'll always remember us and that you'll come back and visit us. When you make it big, you'll share your resources with us so that we can do the things we need to do here for future generations of students.
As the Newman Catholic Center celebrates its half-century of existence, it is hoped and prayed that it will always be that welcoming place for UMass students for the next 50 years and beyond. For Real to Real, I'm Steve Kiltonick.